Hey there, and what is going on, everybody? I got this crazy little thing in my hair because I don't really know how to tie hair ties in hair, and my hair keeps falling into my face as I paint, which is really annoying. I haven't added any gel or anything, so it just tends to naturally fall in my face. So, if you see me, that's why that's in my hair. And what we're gonna do is we're gonna start a new painting now. I'm gonna throw on some gloves here. I'm gonna throw on some of my gloves. And this painting is gonna be, so this is one I finished this morning. This is one that still needs some work. So we're gonna let that, sit around for a while. And, we're gonna let that sit and marinate as we start our next one. And here's the fun thing. I've finally upgraded to my next size. So as you could tell, my next size up is a little bit bigger. And it's going to be significantly larger to paint. So let's go ahead and move some of this stuff around. First things first is this one's complete, so we're going to go ahead and put this elsewhere. Gotta find a good place for it for the meantime. And this one, let me just stick it down here for now, because we're going to be working on this on another day. So this one we're going to be putting up right now. This piece right here. Let's set that right there. We'll go ahead and secure this baby. Alright, we're nice and secure. And we're just going to leave this right up top to just dry. It's going to dry up here. It's going to live up there until it is finished. And we're going to be starting this painting. So everybody that just joined, all eyes on me. Chapingo, Ivan Morris, Ernie Trujillo, Tristan Mercado, Travis Starnes. Thanks for tuning in. Thanks for jumping in. I know you can't really see my face the whole time, but it's about the art, not my face. So I do give shout outs if I see you jump in, so thank you. I gotta say, so far, really enjoying TikTok and the engagements from TikTok. I'm typically a YouTube streamer. I've done most of my streams on YouTube, but I gotta say, TikTok invited me, sent me some emails, and they were like, "Hey, you should stream on our platform." So I was like, "Okay, I'll give it a shot today." So I gave it a shot today, and I gotta say, I'm enjoying it. So right now, just setting up my space. The one thing about oil painting that I think deters a lot of people is it requires a little extra effort. Plus, it's a little bit more expensive than traditional acrylic. It's a little bit more expensive, so you have more working pieces, but that's okay. So with that, let's go ahead and I'm gonna take some inspiration from Vincent's other paintings, and let's see how we want to start this. I want to start this with a nice blue underpainting. Some nice and blue and light. So we're gonna throw in some of our Let's see how I want to do this. I'm going to try a painting where I don't... what should I do? I'm trying to think of something experimental to do. And I have the general idea, but I'm wondering whether there's another way to go about this. And let's see. let's start by adding some colors onto our palette here. We're definitely going to need a lot of blue. So start off with a lot of blue. Going with our Prussian blue. And we're going to add in our white. So we're finally almost done with all of our white on our Gamblin 1980. So encourage your viewers. Yeah, oh yeah, hey. So TikTok is advising me to encourage y'all to share. So, be sure to share, invite your friends that you want to make art with. Talk about art and stuff. Like, share with your friends, say hello. Don't be strangers. Sure to share anywhere, with anything, on any platform. Alright, and here we go. This is the last of our Gamblin 1980 white. I've used a lot of this white. Let's see, I should have a cobalt blue somewhere. Let me find my... Where is that blue that I was using? That's violet. And we're going to be using some of our Van Gogh paints. Let's lay down our cerulean blue. Oh, it's much creamier. This is a very creamy one compared to the others. So, where's my other palette? Alright, so let's take in some of this white. We're going to lay that down. We're going to take in some of our Prussian blue. We're going to lay that down. Just going to mix this all together. And let's just experiment and play. So, what we're going to do first is this is just to get the juices flowing. This is the fun part, really. Just throwing paint on a canvas and not worrying about anything. So just spreading out this paint a little bit. Here we go. Making it a bit rough. It's okay, that color's not supposed to be there, but it's alright. All this is going to be pretty much disappeared in a few moments. right, we got our entire canvas covered. And here we begin. Yes, good to go. All right, every once in a while I step back. Hey, you love it so far? Thank you, Celine. What's the image we're shooting for in the end? So this is a painting called, this is a project called Bakery. It's based on a drawing by Vincent van Gogh. So, you know, totally just, right now just searching for a color that I want to represent, to represent our painting. So nothing too crazy just yet. This is just the beginning. Just our beginning. Let's play with this space right here. Let's go with, let's shape, see what we could do. Let's shape some of our space right here. So we're gonna go, street is gonna be pretty much horizontal, probably about a third. Let's see, one, that's gonna be about one. I'm measuring right now, that's why my arm's in front of the camera. So 1, 2, 3, about a third of the way. So we're looking a little less than a third. So looking at about right here is where we will draw our space. For those of you that are tuning in, what's the image you're shooting for? Here's Celine, Shatter Me Now. Thoughts on red from one artist to another, or maybe as accent points? What do you mean, thoughts on red? Like, are you asking me whether I should do red, or Colby Osvaldo, hello? Thoughts on red? Or are you asking like how come I didn't use red? Yeah, I could probably use red at some point. Definitely use red. That's a great color, because it'll be a contrasting color for sure. So yeah, you know, consider me like a DJ. There are times when I am totally open to like do things, and then, you know, other times when I'm like, I don't like that idea. But yeah, totally. Hey, let's throw some red in right now. How about that? Let me wipe off this brush real quick. Let's throw in a little bit of red. Let's see, where should I add the red? Let's make the outlines of this building red. How about that, huh? We're gonna make a dark, let's make the outline of the building like a dark red. I'm gonna start playing with this, start playing with the shapes. And we're gonna go staying pretty loose. Gonna formulate this space right here. Actually, hold on, let's see. Halfway would be about right here. So we're gonna go. There we go. There, a little bit of red for you. How's that? You like it? A little bit of red. There you go. Create some nice contrast. And the second third is gonna be our little hallway. And let's bring that down. There you go. Hyper realistic pets. Hey, that's awesome. That's so cool. Do you do that? Do you get a lot of? I had a message for a hyper realistic pet today. A pet commission. Interestingly enough. And let's see. Let's go with basic outline. I come up here a little bit, and then let's go. I feel like that's too small, so fortunately I can go a little bit bigger. We're gonna make this a little bit bigger, a little bit higher. So right now is the opportunity to play and experiment with the overall look and feel of everything. And let's see, we're gonna go here, we'll go right here, we'll go just straight up, right there, just straight to the top. And photography, taxidermy, because you don't want to put yourself out there. You split between photo, photography. Hey, cool. Taxidermy. You do taxidermy or you paint taxidermy? That's pretty interesting. Good to know. But let's go with this. And we're going to go just... We're going to make this rounded, actually. Why not? I'm going to make this rounded. Never met a taxidermist before. You do taxidermy. Wow. Well, I can imagine you have a lot of pets because I don't know anybody who does taxidermy. So if I was to ever just like look up taxidermy in my city, or if anyone does, I'm sure you pop up somewhere. Like you're probably a go-to name. I wouldn't be surprised if you were. So that's pretty neat. Wow. We got a taxidermist in the room. So how long after an animal passes can you start to actually, consider taxidermy? In this hall, so let's just get some of our windows here. Let's get a loose sketch. Let's go down. I like to keep it loose. I'm gonna keep it loose down here as well. Hey, cool. Thanks for us. We have a lot of people schedule ahead, actually, and ship the pets and wow, that's pretty wild. So do you have to is there like a separate process for I don't know the best term, but someone who, removes the, parts of the animal, or, do you have them take it to like a special person, or do you do everything? This is a very interesting career, for sure. So let's keep it pretty big right now. Keep it pretty loose. Add a window right here. I don't like the shadow that's just on here, so I'm gonna raise this a little bit. Even though it might affect. And let's go with the window right next to it. Window, come down. Thanks for the roses. Would you mind? Yeah, go ahead. You could join and speak. Share your. How do I do this? Let me see. How do I invite you to join this? Turn on requests. Okay. I'm new to this, so I don't really know how to do that. Let's see. Pause live, settings. Go hear your voice. I don't need to hear my voice. Comment settings. Allow comments. Should be in settings. What the? Oh, here we go. It says guests. Plus guests. Celine. There we go. Alright, I got it. Okay, so you have been invited. Should work now. And if you cannot get in, please let me know. We're connecting. Did it did it work? Maybe I can add a host, co-host with creators. Let's see, Celine, Selene, Selene. Can't find your name on here. All right, I tried it again. So let's see. Right? Oh, here we go. Is it working?
Yes, hello.
Oh, hey, all right, cool. Welcome. You're my first live guest.
Oh, awesome. I feel so honored.
I am
My-
honored. So, yeah, I guess as we were saying, you are a taxidermist. Very interesting.
Yes, so we do a lot of freeze-dry pet taxidermy.
Hmm.
Um, so there is conventional taxidermy, which is, I hope you don't mind me getting like a little graphic here, using a little bit of
Yeah,
graphic language.
go
There
for it.
is with taxidermy, like conventional taxidermy, there you have to skin the animal. Taxidermy, the words that it is compromised of mean movement of skin.
Yeah.
So that is what conventional taxidermy is. But with the pets, because no pet has the same like face, it would be incredibly hard to find a universal foam mount to put the skin on. So what we'll do is we will leave all of their bones and facial structure and everything. And we just take out those internal organs so that they don't turn to dust, and we refill them with recycled burlap. Um, and so it's really fun. And then they go into a freeze dryer for a couple of months, and when they come out, we will fix them up and paint them and make them look nice, and they get to go home.
Well, that's quite interesting. So you said that you do have somebody that pulls out the organ and stuff.
Yes,
Or
most of the time I do a lot of that, and then they go when they go into the freeze dryer. I mean, everybody, there are four people in the shop that I work at. Everybody kind of does everything.
okay, so well, that is really, I mean, it's mind blowing because it's one of those things that are behind the scenes. I mean, we see a butcher at work, but we never see. I know you're not. It's not butchering, but it's like uh,
Yeah, yeah.
it's pretty. I mean, I would consider it intense. I wouldn't even know. I just like I skinned or descaled and gutted a fish for the first time to eat, and that was a lot for me. So I can only imagine.
Yeah.
Um, so what's like the biggest animal you've ever worked with?
A 170-pound Malamute.
Whew. Wow, my goodness, what an experience, huh?
And that is about as big as we can take them so that they'll fit in the freeze dryer.
Oh my goodness, wow. So like, if someone requested, I don't know if it was your page, but I think I saw a horse on your page.
Yes.
Like if someone requested like a horse or like a large some other thing, is that a thing they could do?
For freeze dry, I know that a horse would have to be in a freeze dryer for like 2 to 3 years if you can find one that they can fit in. We
Well,
have done a dwarf horse before that was about the size of a dog, though.
yeah. So those are like not a pony, but even smaller, right? They kind of look like little
Yes.
mini things. Oh, those are cute. I've seen them before. Wow. All right. And how'd you get into that? That's a pretty quite the interesting choice of work.
Um, Well, I grew up on a farm. I grew up around hunting and death and taxidermy and things like that. And I have loved art since I was a young kid. Like I said, I draw hyper realistic animals and pets for
Yeah.
people, mainly like friends. But So it's just I have the patience for it. I have the stomach for it. And I just love memorializing animals in a permanent way.
Wow. And you've been at this, you like do it as a for a company, or is it like your own
Yes.
side hustle?
Yes, at the moment it will be my full-time job. So I am graduating high school here in like 8 days, and then I will be moving up about an hour away to where the place is to start working full time. And it is a very well-known place, about 3 generations of taxidermists, called Eddie Pet Preservation. And so I will work under someone, but I get to do everything. I can look at a pet and go, "Ooh, I want to do that pet. Let me do that pet."
Yeah. Okay. Wow. So is this like in a well-known area or city? Like, I'm just curious what state this is. Okay.
Oh, surprisingly, actually, we're in a very small town
Cool. Okay. Cool. Yeah. Wow. All right.
in the middle
So
of
like,
good old Missouri.
I'm guessing. So if you were to look up like Missouri taxidermists, you'd probably find that it's probably very few, huh?
Um, yes, you probably would. The only thing is, uh, if you look up Missouri taxidermists, it will probably give you the majority of conventional taxidermists. You'd be better off looking up Missouri pet taxidermy. Now we do
Oh, that,
deer and bobcats and stuff, but mainly pets.
wow. All right. Well, hey, thanks for sharing that. And you said you do hyper realistic pet stuff.
Yeah, let me see if I can find one.
Yeah, yeah. Feel free to share it. I don't know. I can't even see your screen. I don't know if uh
Let's see here. We'll switch it around. Oops. Here's one I did. A
okay. I
little
can't see
shiny.
you. Hmm. I can't see it. I don't know if the camera's on or oh, there we go. Hey, wow. That's pretty darn good of a German Shepherd or
Yes.
some type
So
of
I
Shepherd.
took this photo
Yeah.
for a friend and then I decided to draw it.
Nice. And this was you just did it for them out of the blue, or is it like a practice piece or
I mean, I'd say practice piece. But it was something that I saw and I was like, "Oh, I want to do that."
nice? Yeah, no, it's really good. You must have been doing it for a while. Or you must have been an artist for a while.
Come again?
I said you must have been an artist or someone who draws for quite a while. That's really good.
Oh, yeah, I mean, I was, ever since I was a young kid, I liked drawing and doodling and stuff like that, but I wasn't very good until I started high school, and then I had a very, very good art teacher who above all was very caring, on not just a teacher level to me, like a safe space. And so it allowed me to process emotions through art, and it really just kind of blossomed my love for art and my desire to continue working with it.
Wow, that's so cool. So this teacher, what would you say it was that, made them I mean, you said that, they helped you blossom into it, that they, they created a safe space, but like for anyone that was trying to learn from as a teacher, like how to create that space, what would you say it was? Like, did he give you extra, teacher student time, or did they give you extra student teacher time, or was it like they constantly put
Um,
motivating you? Like, what would you say that was?
he was definitely consistently motivating me, and he's also a very emotionally intelligent person, and I was going through a lot at the time, and he taught me how to utilize art almost therapeutically and get through anxiety when cuz I get really bad anxiety whenever I get to a point where I'm scared that I will ruin the artwork.
Oh,
So
really?
like that
Wow.
that dog that I just showed you took me about 2 months to complete because I repetitively ran into an art block and fear that I would mess it up. But it never would have gotten done if he wasn't there to motivate me and encourage me through it. Alistair, come up, up, up. Get up here.
Hey, can you hear me?
Yes.
Hello. Oh,
Hello?
hey, my bad. So I got disconnected because I had a call. But you said you were constantly getting into art blocks, and that was the last thing I heard.
Yes, I was constantly getting into art blocks and having that anxiety around messing it up. So the dog that I just showed you took me about 2 months to complete because I
Yeah.
kept fearing that I would mess it up, and it never would have gotten done if he wasn't there to encourage me. So if somebody like you is trying to be an encouraging and motivational teacher and also, teach people how to do art, I would say to never doubt emotional intelligence and be there for your students.
Sure. That's very powerful. You are a example of how that works. So that's pretty cool. And did he give you any tools to like, post graduation of how to work with it yourself, or like is there any?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, he taught, those of us who wanted to go into art as a career, he gave us options for college. Those of us who could not afford college or did not want to go to college, he gave us other options of how to promote ourselves if we wanted to use it as a career. And he's just very, very helpful, man.
Oh, so cool. All right. Well, hey, congratulations on being almost done with high school. I
Thank you.
remember I remember when I graduated high school. It was pretty cool. It's a really good feeling because you're on to the next big exciting phase of your life, and you get to go. So it sounds like you're going straight into a job.
Yes, the taxidermy job. I've been working on the days that I don't have school. But about a month ago, we went up, me and my mother went up and we were looking around and we found a little 2-bedroom house. It's only about $600 a month. And we said, yes, gotta have that one. And so I'm lucky enough to have a amazing support system behind me that will help me with monthly rent and food and give me the opportunity to get under my feet. I'm very, very fortunate for that. And my boss is very kind. I'm very lucky for getting to where I am today.
Yeah, that's so cool, and it's great that you're able to recognize that. I mean, but like that's so awesome that you're able to find a place in the city that you're going to be working in, and you get to just jump right into it. That's like, I feel like that's like a classic apprenticeship like way of doing things where you really get to like build from there and expand and all that stuff. So very nice. Thanks for sharing all that. That's some amazing moves. And
Yes,
all right,
of
cool.
course.
So are you looking to expand? You
I
said
will
you don't have
be
a lot.
right back. I'm going to mute for a second. My dog is whining at me to go potty.
Oh yeah, go for it. It probably needs to go potty. All right, so let's work this in. We've got the general design. Yeah, Smurf Cat at H Jackson. Jackson, hello. What's going on, Smurf Cat? Smurf Cat. Yeah. Let's see. All right, let's continue on with this. So we've got a general block out here. We're using the red. And we're gonna put in these. Use this red. And there we go. See, so a lot of artists, they just need to find as someone who's able to push them and inspire them. Isn't that great? I'm really glad. TikTok's amazing. You get to connect with so many people and do these like little guest chats, which now, I've been streaming on YouTube for the longest time. It's random discussion here, but I've been streaming on YouTube for quite a while now. I find it interesting that no one on YouTube has ever asked to jump on the live stream. I don't know why. Maybe because TikTok is a streaming or a social media, whereas YouTube's more like, hey, I just came across you, I found you. Now, what do you do? It's that type of thing. So I never like a TikTok so far. It's great to have other people because for those of us that don't like to just say random stuff the entire video. You watch a gamer streamers, they can just go on and on all day long about anything. And I guess that's why the most talkative gamer gets the most views. But I definitely see the value in being able to share a life with somebody and being able to go that route.
I am back.
Oh, hey, welcome back. You took your dog out?
Yes, and I got him some food.
Cool. Yeah. So I'm just saying that I'm on YouTube a lot. It's very interesting because I've streamed a lot on YouTube and no one's ever asked me to
Oh,
go on
yeah?
the live. So yeah, this is great. And like, I think this is interesting too because I've wanted to do like a I've met a lot of Instagram painters on Instagram that do like plein air, so they paint like outdoors live. And I was thinking, oh, wouldn't it be cool to do like a
Uh-huh.
podcast interview series where like I paint with them and it's sort of like an interview, but it could be pretty hard to do an interview and paint at the same time. But still pretty neat. I like this.
Yeah, and it can also be hard to, get a hold of them and get them on board with it as well.
Oh yeah, that for sure. Those messages, if you're not like friends with them, can just easily get lost. Sure.
Uh-huh.
All right. So you have any projects sitting around that you're like, hey, I should do this, but you just haven't?
Right now,
Yeah.
I'm gonna do an art trade with somebody in the near future, but I don't think I just got done with a project like 2 days ago. The only other project I have is at school currently, and I am making a cardboard shark that's going to sit on the wall.
Oh, cool. Cardboard shark, you said?
Yeah, like a 3D whale shark. It looks pretty good so far. I've gotten onto the painting process and laying down the base coats.
There you go. All right. So it's a painting. It's a painting or it's a you said a cutout or something, a 3D. How's that how's that work together?
Yeah, so this is for my sculpture class. And so basically what I did was I took a Crayola box, and I cut out, the shape of the shark, and then I used the cardboard as almost like a skeleton. And then I packed it with paper towels and wrapped it in masking tape. And then I went over that with some paper mache, and I had to let the paper mache dry, and then I went ahead and sanded that down, and now I'm starting, painting it to make it look realistic.
Oh, cool. And you're really good at the realism. So this should be once you get that going, it should be pretty straightforward, right? Once you're done with the sculpting element or 3D element, huh?
I hope so. I sure do hope so.
No, I was reading recently, it was saying that, if you're going to be an artist, especially today, you really got to be a multimedia artist. Like, you can't just be
Oh,
like,
yes.
"Oh, I'm a painter, I'm a drawer." Like, your best success is going to come from being multimedia. Sounds
Yeah,
like you're in that
I
path.
would have to agree with that.
I, though, have not gotten into multimedia, maybe so far doing mostly paintings, but one day, yeah, well, very cool. There's this
I have
person
so
I
many
follow.
meaningless little
Oh,
sketches in here.
what's that?
I said I have so many meaningless little sketches in here.
Have you heard of Redbubble?
Yes.
I've sold some drawings on Redbubble just as like prints.
There you go. There's the one that I just finished.
Let me see. Is that a camel
That is a
or
pony,
a
but
horse? Oh, pony. Yeah, yeah.
it was one
Okay.
that I had to get done fairly quickly, so I wasn't able, and I didn't have this tan medium paper, so it was a little bit harder to work with, and I had only graphite pencils to work with this one. So
Yeah, no, I mean that's great. It does I mean it does look like the face does quite kind of look like a camel, right? I mean, it's not totally off, is it?
I
Because
mean,
I think it's the hair.
yeah,
'Cause
I
camels
had
have that
to.
funny hair.
Yeah, I had to give it a nice big mane. My girlfriend lost her pony to a
Mm.
sinkhole, so I was like aggressively drawing that for her.
You said a sinkhole?
Yes.
Oh my goodness.
There's a concept sketch of a puma.
Yeah, that's awesome too. And what are you using? Is that graphite or pencil or what is that?
Yeah, that's just graphite. Actually, no, that one. Yeah, that's graphite. I just, sometimes I go in and I just do goofy little sketches and stuff
Yeah, sure. That's great.
when I'm bored.
Yeah, keep at that because it will definitely pay off. And it's great that you are doing it as you're getting out of high school because you are that is an early start. There are so many people that I think start so much later. They're like, oh,
Yes.
I should have tried earlier, but they don't. So you have a head start there. That's awesome. And how does this fit into your does painting fit into taxidermy at all, or is that more
Yes,
of
you have to airbrush them once they're finished
oh like the hair color, the hair, the fur, and everything?
drawing and such.
Wow.
Yeah, so on uh, on places where the hair isn't, so like the gums, if they're showing gums in the insides of the ears and everything, that all loses color because there's no blood flow, so it'll look almost yellow. So we just have to return that color back to it so they look lively again.
Oh, wow. Okay, so that's definitely another part of it. Now,
Yes.
what I thought was interesting is Pablo Picasso, and since you're doing, the animal stuff too and multimedia, I just realized I've finally seen some of his sculptures, his like clay sculpting. I didn't realize that he did clay sculpting, but he was
Yes, a lot of clay work goes into conventional taxidermy.
yeah. How so?
So it is a foam mannequin. We have to sculpt around the nose and mouth with clay and around the eyes and ears to make them look right. Because they don't come with eyelids, or unless you're getting a really expensive one, they don't come with eyelids. And being able to sculpt our own eyelids and ears allows us to give expression to that animal because animals often speak through their ears and their eyes. So if we want them to look more alert, we would give them a little bit more white in a wider eye. Or if we want them to look relaxed or like they're yawning, we can close those eyes and relax those ears and, vice versa.
So is that also like a part of uh, the client's choice? So they're like, hey, can you make our dog or our cat or our whatever look happier, or is that their choice, or how does that work?
Yeah, Yes, so it's all up to the client unless they
You disconnected there for a little bit. You said it's all up to the client unless they something.
even in regular media, it's references, references, references.
Still there? Having some connection issues.
Client unless they give us freedom to do what we want. But even when
You remind. Oh yeah, so definitely some connection issues there. Let me see if I can invite you back. Guests. I'll invite you back. Hopefully this works. And
hello,
you're back? Hey. Wow, missed quite a bit there. I did hear you I did we did get to the section where you were saying about how the clients it is mostly up there their choice and then a lot of it got lost, but
yeah, so it is fully up to the client. But even when it is up to the client, we ask for as many references as possible, and we want to make them look as much like they did when they were alive as possible.
oh, that's interesting how even the taxidermist needs the references, even though like you have the animal there in front of you, you still need to use references.
Yes.
I think that's important because when I first got into art, I was like, oh, references, references. Why do I always have to show my references? It's very important. It's a very important part of art and creating. So it's
Hmm.
interesting to know that even in that field, that uh, there is that element.
Yes.
Well, thanks for sharing that.
Of course. Give me 1 second. My live might pause. I just have to respond to my mother real quick.
Yeah.
Okay. Whew, I'm back.
All right, welcome back.
But yeah, I love art in all forms. Like I don't know, have you ever heard of the game Red Dead Redemption 2?
Yeah, I mean, I never played it, but I know about it.
Oh my gosh, I would implore you to play it. I mean, you have to understand the level of artisticness that goes down to designing a game like that. It is gorgeous.
Oh, because I know I've seen enough YouTube videos of it to understand like the general idea.
Yes,
Uh,
it is breathtaking.
yeah, that definitely sounds like breathtaking. I mean, I think it's the same people that made like Grand Theft Auto, right? Rockstar.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Except instead of like Los Angeles, it's like the ancient Midwest.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. Cool. All right. So getting along on this, I finally I think I got the general blockouts finished. So um, right now,
Yeah, it looks really good so far blocked out.
oh, thanks. All right. Yeah, and I like the idea of taking the red to make it stand out. So this is pretty neat.
Yes.
So I'm actually wondering like how it's going to affect the final composition and the overall, but I'm sure it'll be great. Yeah. So do you paint or are you mostly graphite and stuff?
Oh gosh, I do. Everything I've taken, every art class high school has to offer.
Wow, you are an artist. So so like at home, do you paint on the regular, or is it just mostly? Uh,
I mainly draw because paint is so expensive and so are canvases.
yeah.
Um, And so I'll paint, from time to time. I have like four um canvases that have drawings on them that need to be painted, but I keep looking at them like, no, they look so good now.
Oh, you mean that you have it like blocked out with the drawing? You just got to paint into them? Is that what you're saying?
Yes, yes.
But you don't want to mess it up. Is that the thing?
Hmm. So how long have you been painting?
I think you got disconnected after I said so. You don't want to mess it up, right? Or is that you get
Um,
disconnected?
I'm
Or
still
you
here.
just? Oh, okay. Oh, I've been painting. So I actually started in digital art like 4 years ago,
Mm-hmm.
and then painting seriously, like physical painting, probably about going on 8 months.
Awesome.
Yeah, going on 8 months now. So yeah,
I love doing digital work, but I need like um a drawing pad to connect to my laptop, and I find it very hard to do line work on a digital platform.
really, line work. Yeah, I guess. I had trouble with that too. But the issue for me as a digital artist was that like I just felt like I could endlessly try to perfect the line. Could zoom
Mm-hmm.
in, zoom out, zoom in or zoom out. You could like, you know, there's like 10 different tools to make the line better. So I would just find myself just like doing all this stuff for one line. And it was just, I didn't feel like, I don't know, I just didn't felt too technical for me, too much. So I finally moved to physical, and I'm
Yeah.
enjoying it. Yeah, I didn't do well as a digital artist as far as making the work that I wanted to make. Just wasn't for me. Yeah, paints definitely get expensive, but like, oof, they're so worth it. I don't know. I mean, you're still in high school, so it's hard to like have have that disposable income, when you
Yeah.
got school and all that. But once you get out, fine. Yeah, I'm sure the taxidermy job's gonna pay pretty well, huh? That'd be a
Yes,
pretty good
so
opportunity.
I'm started out at $13 an hour, and I will go up the more work that I do, the more that I learn to do, and I work 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. Monday through Friday, or I will.
Yeah, that's such a great start. That's a gig out of school that you're good at. I mean, that's so cool. It's a very
Yes.
fortunate thing, and I'm sure like the cost of living in Missouri is fairly decent. Not too hard on the bank account. No,
Yeah,
but
it's pretty good. It went up really bad, and it's definitely not what it used to be like whenever I started high school is what I expected, but it's not awful.
that's great. Yeah, I live in Los Angeles, so when you said $600 a month for a two-bedroom, guess what you get for six
House.
hundred dollars a month? Oh, a house. So a two-bedroom house in Los Angeles is about 2,800 a month.
Oh, that hurts my soul.
Yeah, about $2,800 a month. So I don't live in a two-bedroom house, but uh, yes,
It's a small little house, but it's also a small town, so I got my own little yard. And yeah, utilities are not included, but they are not expensive.
that's amazing. Wow, I think everybody should just go move to Missouri and spike up the rent prices.
No.
Yeah, yeah. Cool. All right. And does the town that you're moving to, does that have all the amenities you want, or you just
It
want
doesn't it doesn't have everything, but it is close enough to Columbia and Marshall that it is comfortable.
Columbia, Missouri?
Yes.
All right, that's nice. Yeah, I've been to a few like small towns when I visited them. They had like colleges in them and like schools and like young people, and I always wondered like, what do they do for fun? because I went to like a big college, you know, town. I lived in a big college town. It was like, there's always stuff going on, but I wonder
Yeah.
what sort of amenities. All right. Wow, you are on a journey. So is your are your parents in the business too? That like artists?
My mom is a hairstylist, and my dad works at Metals USA. My
Metal.
stepdad is a farmer, and my stepmom is a dog groomer.
Oh, okay. So they're in the well, I guess the dog grooming part is the pet business, right? They're
Yeah, so it's like a little bit different kind of art.
yeah. Yeah. Well, I was painting a face the other day, and it made me realize, like, hey, these people that do people's eyebrows, my goodness, they are precise. Because I was trying to paint an eyebrow on. I was just trying to paint an eyebrow on. I was like, this is really tough to get just right. If you're off by a millimeter, it makes the whole face look weird.
Yes.
So art gave me new appreciation for other
If
crafts.
you if you ever want to really challenge yourself in a painting, paint a horse.
Yeah, paint the horse.
Yes,
Okay,
they have the most complex anatomy of any animal.
I'll have to try that out. I will have to challenge
They
myself.
there's something else.
All right. I will do that. I will. Challenge has been accepted, but maybe not in the not anytime too soon. But yes, that sounds very exciting.
It took
All
me
right.
years to figure out how to draw horses, and I have them
Yeah.
sitting in my backyard.
But that's even coming from somebody who has, like, is this before you had experience in taxidermy?
Come again?
Is this before you had experience with taxidermy?
Yes, that is a good point you make. Being able to understand and use different parts of the animal for anatomy definitely helps in artwork. It really does. Like being able to look at the skulls and the muscle structures and things like that. It helps paint a picture of what exactly is underneath what you're painting.
Right on. Yeah, because from my understanding, like, when I was learning about animals and the construction of their body, I find it so interesting that like dogs, what we think are the paws, are actually like they're they're like I don't know how to say it, they're calf, right, or something like that, or like
Mm-hmm.
it's like weird. Like what we think is like just toes is like an entire leg or something like
Yes.
that. I can't remember exactly. Uh, Animal anatomy is very interesting. So what would you say is like the thing about a horse that, if you were to try to tell someone, explain to someone the challenges that you had and what mistakes to avoid, what would you say?
Um, references, please look at a reference.
Yeah.
Uh, the on a horse's face, there is a thin layer of skin and then there is bone. So, that is why horse faces, especially in taxidermy, are so hard to work with because there is no muscling there. Um, and so oftentimes in taxidermy, they end up looking like a balloon. And
Okay.
wrinkles. Think of an elephant trunk for their lips. They are so wrinkly on their lips.
Yeah.
Um, and don't like if you want to draw a horse, pick a specific picture and tailor it to that horse. They are all so different. Don't look at a bunch of different pictures because you're going to look like you mashed a bunch of different animals together and the proportions aren't going to be the right size.
So one horse at a time.
Yes.
That's good advice. See, you could even teach and inspire somebody.
I don't think I would be a very good teacher.
Oh yeah. Well, you just tell them go find a reference, right?
Yeah, I mean, I don't I'm not very big on I get very frustrated oftentimes um when people don't get it right, which is why I had so much trouble being a equine lesson instructor because I'd get these little kids and these brand new riders, and it just they wouldn't be doing it the way that what I'm asking for, and it's hard for me to ask for specific things because it all comes down to a feeling. Like whenever you get to drawing horses or riding horses, it becomes muscle memory and hard to explain exactly how you do it.
Yeah, for sure. Like, it becomes a part of you. It's a natural thing, and it's hard to explain.
Yes.
Basically.
You're like, can I just transfer what I feel to you instead of
Yeah,
telling you?
I get it. I get it. Had had moments where I was trying to teach a stretch, and like, the movement. I was trying to explain the movement, but the person just wasn't understanding the movement. So like,
Yes.
and I guess like, some people are just that's physical movement or a physical thing is a challenge for them, whereas other
Yes.
people, we've all got our challenges, I guess. So anyway, just moving along now, and yeah, cool. All right, just moving along. So let's see. I guess it's December. I'm guessing most high schools graduate January, February, March, April, May, May. Something to look forward to for you. That's awesome. So how is Missouri? Is it snowing there?
I don't know if you got disconnect. Oh, yes, happened again. Here we go. Thought you just got.
I'm terribly sorry. I'm trying to keep my phone in the correct position for the best internet, but it is snowing and it is on our satellite dish, which is causing issues.
It is on the satellite, you said?
Yes.
Oh wow, yeah, I bet that can cause issues. Yeah, I find it interesting because I've never had to. Well, actually, I lived in a snowed out place for like 3 months, but it wasn't like heavy snow. It was just like light snow in Arkansas. But I can't imagine having to live in a heavy snow place.
Oh, yes, we definitely get heavy snow. A couple of years ago, I think we got 3.5, 4 feet of snow.
4 feet, so basically half your door was covered, huh? Wow. Have you ever experienced a hurricane?
No, not being Midwest, I have not.
Yeah,
I
hurricanes.
would be very, very scared if a hurricane managed to reach where I live.
Yeah, hurricanes are interesting because as a kid, you don't really you don't really stress about the things that the adults stress about.
Yeah.
But like as you think about it as an adult, you're like, whoa, our parents went through a lot. Because as a kid, you're basically just there for the ride.
Yep.
You're just there, and you're like, hey, I just hope that my house doesn't get destroyed. But at the same time, you're like, hey, let me go outside, play in the rain, play in the wind. But as an adult, you gotta worry about your kids. Gotta worry about the
Yes,
electricity going out.
I have been through tornadoes. Four.
Uh, 4
Um,
tornadoes.
yes.
Like you went through them, like they went around your house.
Yeah, one of my homes was my school was torn apart by a tornado actually.
So is
Way
that
back.
so? School shut down. I'm sure everybody was happy. No,
Yeah, yeah, we were all rooting and hollering for that.
cool. And then, like,
But
how long did
yeah,
it get finally get back?
tornadoes.
How long did it take to finally get back into school?
A year.
About a year.
Yeah.
Okay. Wow, a whole year without school? That's like COVID.
Yes. Oh yes, so I got a full year out of school for COVID, and I think I was in sixth grade, and then 2 years later, COVID happened. Or, oh, 2 weeks off of school, yeah, and then bye.
Oh, you're done, huh? Oh, good time.
Um,
That lucky.
we did some online. We did a lot of online actually. We went back to school. I switched schools, and then COVID had another outbreak in our school, and so we went to half days, half being online and half being at school to minimize the amount of people in the school. We did that for about a year, and then we pretty much been normal since my sophomore or junior year.
And is that how you got into art? Like, did you do a lot of art while you were during that time period, or
Yes.
yeah, yeah, really? Like, I tried to do digital art during that time, and unfortunately, digital art just didn't stick for me. So, um, yeah, it would have been nice if I found that right. That's cool that you were able to get into like drawing and stuff. Is that what you focus most of your time on, drawing? Or-
Yeah, my art teacher, see that was when COVID hit, and I went back to school at a new school. That's when I got my art teacher, and I had a lot of anxiety around it, and things like that. And I don't do well. I hate people, but I don't do well when I'm not around people.
Uh-huh. Yeah.
Um,
And people could be a pain in
so
the ass.
yes. So that's part of how he helped me get through that and utilize art as a therapeutic experience.
Yeah, I bet I'm sure it helped a lot of people get through COVID because that's a
Hmm.
rough time for some people. So how was it in Missouri? Like, did they was it very serious? It was shut down or
Yeah,
was it chill?
yeah, everything except Waffle House.
Ah, except Waffle House.
Have you ever been to a Waffle House?
Yeah, yeah,
Love Waffle House. It's the most dangerous experience you will ever have, but I love Waffle House.
oh yeah, because pancakes and butter and all sorts of stuff.
Yeah, yeah. Waffle House, we always went really late at night. Oh, we want breakfast? Okay, Waffle House.
Yeah, mine was Denny's. You have Denny's in Missouri? I'm sure you do.
We don't have very many. I think there might be one in Kansas City and St. Louis, but they're not out here in rural Missouri.
We don't have Denny's. So I was talking to guy from somebody from I think they were from Ireland, and I asked them. We are talking about what they want ate for like previous night's dinner, and they were like, "We went to Denny's because there's no Denny's in Ireland."
Oh
So
no.
they so they came all the way from Ireland, and one of their most memorable meals was at Denny's. I found that amusing because just such a casual dining experience. Let's see, who else just joined? Turkey Bird 1127. Hello. It says to say hello to you. So, all right, this is coming along here. And just out of curiosity, how did you find this stream specifically? Like, did it just pop up on your feed? I'm really wondering, like, how.
Yes. It came up on my For You page. I was like, ooh, an artist.
Ah, Okay, cool. All right.
I've shared it to a couple of different people. Um, I haven't shared it to my art teacher, but he is doing something at the moment. I don't
Oh,
know.
hey, no worries, no worries. I appreciate that either way, it's all good. Uh, but yeah, next time, you do a live stream of your painting, whatever, be sure to send an invite.
Yeah, I will. Let me. Yeah, I followed you.
You could, I don't know any like YouTube taxidermists, but that could possibly be a thing too. You never know, right? Like,
Yes, as soon as I start working full time, I'm gonna set up a TikTok. It'll probably
yeah,
be under Nature's Gaze Creations or Eddie Pet Preservation. It'll be under one of those two names. I'm gonna try to set up a couple different social media platforms and just show
mhm,
people because I don't feel like a lot of people, know. And I feel like it's such a beautiful way to memorialize an animal. More people should know.
you're right. A lot of people don't know at all. Like, we've seen it, but I don't know anything about except what you told me today, right? Like,
Yeah.
and it's not until you meet somebody who's actually in that business that you think to even ask questions about it.
Yeah.
But I don't go look at an animal that's been taxidermized. What would be the right word for that? I know that's not the right word.
Taxidermied.
Oh, I wouldn't go up to an animal that's been taxidermied and be like, oh, I wonder, if they had to vet this themselves, right? But
Yeah.
if you were here, I was like, that's interesting. I wonder how that process happens. Mm.
Yeah, so a lot of taxidermists are entrepreneurs. They'll go, they'll learn, they'll start their own business and they do everything themselves.
Everything.
Yeah. Yeah, so what will happen is a hunter, let's say, kills a deer. They will what we call cape out that deer, which is from the shoulders up, skin it, and but they will leave the head and a portion of the neck because faces are so hard to skin properly. You can nick eyes, and we have to go around the lips and leave it the inner part of the lip that connects to the gums and so that we can tuck it into the form, and same with the
Mhm.
eyes, we have to leave that inner eyelid on, so they'll cape it, and then we will take it and finish that process, tan the hide, whiten the antlers, take the antlers off of the skull, and then fix up the form, measurements, everything like that, clay, and then do everything.
Yeah. So, out of curiosity, does yeah, I was gonna say, lost my train of thought there. Hmm. Do you ever have that happen to you? That happen so often when
Yes.
I'm like just about to ask question, just suddenly. Oh yeah, I was gonna ask. Can you
It ran
taxidermy
away.
fish?
What now?
Is it possible to taxidermy fish?
Fish, yeah. Yeah, we freeze dry fish, or they mainly do replicas of fish to get the length exactly right, and to preserve that color and everything. So I don't think anybody ever really skins a fish and puts it on a form, but they're either freeze dried or they are um, made a replica.
They're made a replica.
Yeah, so what a lot of people will do is a lot of people, if they get some record fish, they don't keep that fish. They'll take pictures and measurements of that fish and release it. And they'll take those pictures and measurements to a taxidermist or a replica creator, and that replica creator will sculpt out that fish and paint it to look exactly right, make sure the length is right, so that that fish can go and create more fish that will grow to that size.
Hmm. Why would they need more fish to grow to that size if they're just taxidermying it?
What do you mean?
Well, you said that they would like, go create more fish of that size. So I don't.
Oh, so the fish itself would be released back into
Okay.
the water.
So,
And they'll take measurements of that record holding fish and pictures of it, of the coloring and things, and then they'll take those pictures and measurements they got of the fish to that person. They will sculpt a replica of the fish, and then they get the replica, but the fish gets to like live and create more fishies.
I see. I see. Okay, cool. All right.
Yeah.
It's, mm.
I have to ask, how do you go live with 68 followers?
Uh, I supposedly you're only supposed to be able to do it with 1,000, right?
Yeah, yeah.
That's what I thought too, but I got some invite from um from TikTok. I guess that is because I'm an artist and I've been posting a lot of content.
Uh-huh.
But are you saying that if that you have not been able to because you have under 1,000?
Oh, I have over 1,000 now, but before that, no, I couldn't.
Yeah, that's what that. Yeah, I wasn't able to see your page, but yeah, that's supposedly if you have like over, you have to have over 1,000. But it told me like, hey, yeah, come do a live stream. So I checked my live and I was like, oh, I can do it. I thought I wasn't allowed to.
That's
So
awesome.
yeah, so I wonder if it's like a, an artist thing where they're like, hey, this is a new artist. He's putting out a lot of content. Let's let him go live, or if it's something else.
I bet that's what it was.
But yeah, no, I feel very fortunate in that sense. And huh, this side of the painting's bothering me because it looks too skin tone to me, and I'm thinking I should probably either, I don't know, I'm trying to decide whether I want to go blue with it or do a red building. But I don't think it's a red building.
You don't feel like it's a red building?
Like, in here I painted it a dark red because it's in shadow. But
Mm-hmm.
over here I'm thinking, okay, like I'm trying to decide whether I want a red building with like, that's been highlighted like brick-ish, or whether I want a grayish blue building.
You could always just experiment around with a possible, like, at the very left edge of the painting, it almost has a little bit of an orangish red undertone. Um, you may use that red that blends into that shadow as just an undertone for whatever, you decide um to make the building.
Uh-huh. Oh, so even if what you're saying is after I paint with this color, I can paint on top of it after with the final color. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, I mean, you could, lay that base down so that you get a little bit more pigment through that painting, and
Yeah.
add just like maybe just a pink or just a dark brown or a dark like reddish brown undertone to match it. I don't know. It's up to you. It's your painting. Whatever feels right.
Yeah, no, I know. I'm just sharing my thoughts out loud.
Yeah.
Cool to, hear other artists' thoughts and ideas.
Yes, it definitely is.
So something I learned, I was live streaming on Twitch, and I don't remember what I think I was playing some sort of, I think I was doing a video game stream on Twitch. And
I do
as I
that
was playing
too.
the video game, I was constantly getting stuck. And fortunately, there would be these random people and be like, no, just do this. Like all you have to do is do that, or go to your settings and do this. And I was like, wow, like imagine just having somebody in your daily life that could tell you, you know, I mean, I'm not saying I would want somebody telling me because I like to learn from my mistakes, but
Yeah.
it was helpful, like especially for something low. Uh, it didn't really cost, or it wasn't like high stakes or anything. I didn't feel like I was losing autonomy in my life by letting somebody give me tips on a video game.
Mm-hmm.
But I definitely feel, I think as an artist, uh, whenever you're taking other people's advice, you got to decide, how to implement it, whether it works with what you're doing and all that.
Mm-hmm.
It's nice to hear what other people would do.
Yeah, and it's also very important to remember that, other artists are working off of what would look good to me, what feels good to me, and to always take it, with a grain of salt. Like, yes, that I feel like that would look good for you, but I don't know if that's exactly what I'm looking for in this piece. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
So being able to, even lay a boundary with yourself of I appreciate that advice, but it's not exactly what I'm envisioning.
right. What if I just go all out with just all sorts of colors and see what happens?
Yes, use all of the colors.
I just think that this is too skin tone color. I don't like it. I don't like the skin tone.
If you want to go for more of like a sand tone kind of color, I would definitely recommend looking up some like Arizona houses because they have a unique way of implementing that desertish feel.
Yeah, that like I probably need some orange, like yellow.
Yes. And just using those different shades of orange and yellow and brown and blues and reds even, they end up blending together to create that um textured and deep feel.
Mm. Oh well, yeah, yeah, we'll go with this for a little bit. Hey babe, I'm streaming. Streaming, yeah, on TikTok. Just letting you know it's just facing this way. Huh? Whenever. You want to do it now? Okay. Huh? Yes. Busy. All right. My girlfriend has just come home, and I said I would help her do an audition. She says, I don't know.
Go help on dishes.
Huh? I saw Fern on top of the kitchen sink earlier. Was that Pat?
Hmm?
Oh, I was talking to my girlfriend. Saying
Oh,
hi to
okay.
somebody at the door, so I'm wondering who it was. Huh? No, that looks like I threw away squid, like dried squid. It's in garbage. It's just sitting around for a while. The the cabinets. I think so. Okay, let's actually play with this red some more. Yeah, this red. They are pukers, that's for sure. Or just one of those. So you said you had a German Shepherd, right? Or German Shepherd, or no? Your friend had a German Shepherd, but you had another type of dog.
Yeah, I used to have a German Shepherd. Now I have an Australian cattle dog.
Australian cattle dog. Those are stuff. Is that the one with the two? Usually the two colored eyes, or is that a different animal?
That's usually Huskies.
I could have swore there's what?
Hey, I hate to do this, but I have to get off and go feed my other dogs and my horses. But if I see you on live again, I will definitely hop on and chat.
Oh, cool. Hey, yeah, thanks. Well, thanks for tuning in, Celine. Really appreciate you. Take care.
Of
See ya.
course. You too. Bye bye.
Awesome pets.
All right, cool. Wow.
see. Make this. Let's add some blue there. What'd you say, Kat?
Taking care of cats for some people, a couple that are going to Burlington, Vermont.
Oh yeah? Did you tell them to go see your family?
Yeah. I mean, basically everybody in Vermont
Knows what?
they know everybody.
Hmm. So I've had a good stream today. Huh? No, I painted about 2 hours earlier, and then been going for about an hour or so now, a couple hours. No, I'm streaming right now.
Oh my god, this toilet.
I'm streaming right now. Yes. Let's see.
Oh, David's clock.
No.
Yes.
Yeah, I noticed that earlier. It's not. Kat, you really gotta tell everybody?
I thought you said you weren't streaming.
I said I'm still streaming right now. Alright, I hope nobody makes this. Sorry for the TMI, everybody. Alright, so let's see. We got Edras Espinoza. Hello. Thank you for tuning in. Fern's going nuts. Okay. Alright. Let's go. So totally experimenting with a variety of colors. Now that I see this, I probably should have made them blue and him red, because I'm going to make these two buildings two different colors. Let's work on some of this cobblestone down here. You know what? This is probably a good time for a palette knife painting. So let's do some palette knifing here. Let's go with a little bit of a. Let's go with white. I'm going to mix this in here. So we're We're going to be working with our palette knife into this painting. Let's work our palette knife into this. So yeah, always some nice effects when you use a palette knife. Bring this palette knife here. Right, babe? Did you get choked out by another student today?
School, badass.
The what?
Are you still streaming?
Yes. Huh?
I'm not gonna talk about it, please.
Okay, good. So I do find it interesting, people, as what I think is interesting is what comes about from a painting when your mind isn't totally focused on it, which being on and off in conversation, I find it interesting to see how this painting comes about, because it means that you're accessing a different part of your brain to paint, and it's not so much a challenge as much as it is a like oh, so this is what happens. Okay, that is that. Let's do a little bit right here. All right, I think we're gonna be playing with that for sure. Let's see, gone live for 90 minutes. Don't forget to take a break. Yeah, I won't. I will take a break when I need one. Okay, let's see where else I can add some of this texture design. So
Kat, here's something interesting that you probably didn't realize, but hey,
Okay. Hi. What didn't I realize?
that I probably didn't realize. Oh, that you probably didn't realize because I didn't tell you. So usually, to stream on TikTok, you need about 1,000 followers.
Okay.
But I don't have 1,000 followers. I don't have anywhere near that, and I've been allowed to stream on TikTok. So I don't know the reason that I have been given this opportunity, but yeah, well, that was my guess too.
That's really cool.
But I can only guess, right?
Congrats.
Can only guess. Thank you, thank you.
When are you gonna start that?
I did today. I've streamed twice.
Is it different than what you're doing?
Well, it's definitely way different because on YouTube, YouTube, I actually make money on my live streams. But since I'm just starting on TikTok, I don't. Which I think that's okay. Huh?
But at some point, you will.
Right. After you build an audience and you start growing. Let's see. What's a good brush for a window? Some windows. Yeah, well, the catch is that I can't monetize now. Is I can go live, I just can't monetize until I hit about 1,000.
Where are you at
70.
now? 70?
Got a long way to go. Huh?
It's okay. Get everybody who follows you on YouTube.
It doesn't really work like that though. Huh?
Why? You're talking to them.
Right, but it's not all my YouTube followers that watch all my live streams. Firm, what is getting into you? What's up with you tonight, girl? Huh?
It's cold.
You think that's it?
Yes. Can we move the campuses? I think.
Yeah. Give me.
I wanted to go to Intrepid, but I couldn't get time.
Because you feel I'm useless. I'm kidding. Huh? I got an audition too today.
You did for what?
It's a voiceover.
Hey. Stuff here. Eating. Disgusting.
Alright, we are coming along now. Okay. I want to paint this a little bit more white. This person's shirt. A bit more white. Fern, you cuckoo. Cuckoo for squid. It's Cuckoo. I want to give this a little bit of a blue. Shades of blue.
As full as this fridge was, now there's
Whew. All right, moving along here. Hello, Zenya. Thanks for tuning in. Thank you, everybody, for tuning in who has. So let's see right now. My goal for tonight is to at least get the overall feel of all of this. And right now I gotta get this guy's jeans. So let's go with, I'm gonna go with a brown. I'm gonna give him some brown pants. I actually like this color effect. It's not perfectly accurate, but I like it. There we go. And I can paint into here. It's gonna be a bit darker. No. Are you waiting?
almost ready to
Are you
just-
waiting on me or?
No. I'm gonna do something with the script first.
Hmm. What's another color for some blinds? We can do. I guess this side should be mostly blue anyway. So we're gonna use this shade and we're gonna go with lighten our blue here. Just gonna get the effect that we want. Yeah, it's alright. just some commentary on the original drawing for this that I find very interesting because it's you can tell that it goes deep into an angle, but not. But a lot of it is being painted pretty flat. We'll be adjusting that as we go. But let's go see what we can do here. How we can play with this color. How much time do I have?
10 minutes.
10 minutes? Okay. Stop painting in 10 minutes. Alright, folks, we got a countdown.
You can go back to it.
No, because after unsetting up and then setting back up, it's going to be too much.
Well, don't we have another easel? I mean, another tripod?
Yeah, it's okay. I need a break. Alright. And it's bottom building. Sketch out some more stuff. Might as well use this time to draw. Using our time to draw here, so earlier we sketched out with a little bit of a red, so we're going to continue doing that. Let's keep with our red here. Got some red bricks. This guy has bricks here, so go. The person's clearing up bricks. These aren't perfect bricks. These are just smashed up bricks. So drawing out some of these brick shapes. Some of the bricks. I don't even know what these bricks are for. Like, I feel like this guy was. Like, I'm trying to think of the story here, and it must have been this guy was working on some bricks, either laying bricks or breaking the bricks, and he's trying to tell this lady, "Hey, it's okay. You could walk this way." And this is before they were required to like put up signs and stuff. So there's no sign here that says, "Watch out for the bricks." Alright, so that's going to be a general idea there. Now we need some bread. Let's get some bread here. Actually, we need some vases up here. So these are going to be some vases. Third one. Get a finer tip on this. And hello, let's see who else. we're gonna go. Got some stuff going up on the shop window. So we're gonna draw like a horizon line here. Your horizon. It's just gonna depict where the breads end. I'm gonna use a thinner brush for this. Okay. So draw out these breads. We'll paint this section another day. That's another good thing about oil painting is that, and you know, you could consider this a blessing or or not so much a blessing, but cool thing about oil painting is that it takes a lot of time to dry, and because of that, you know, there's some downsides and there's some upsides. One downside is that, you know, you're a bit limited on what you can do in a single session, unless you do like what's called alla prima all in one sitting. Unless you do only alla prima, you can't really paint certain things as quickly, or you just have to have a lot of like technical skill that helps you overcome some typical challenges of undried paint. But one thing that's also great about oil painting, and it could be good or bad depending on your view, is this idea that when you're done, or when you need to is that you need to take breaks. That's what I was going to say. You know, you have an excuse to take a break. Like, oh yeah, I need this to dry. Whereas I think with my personality, if I was to do acrylic, I would just possibly burn out. I don't know. Because, well, I do know. But I could definitely probably burn out if I was with acrylic, because I would constantly be like, oh, okay, I could finish this tonight, or I could finish this later, or you know, I could finish this later today. But there's this idea that with oils, breaks are necessary. With oils, breaks are a very necessary part of your work. You got to be able to come back later and see. I'm not going to be able to see that. Round. Painting out the basic shapes here. And you check back every once in a while, see how people are how people are doing here in this live. If you'd like to join in on a conversation, feel free to share something, but I'm going to be done here in a few moments. But feel free to share any thoughts, questions, comments, concerns, criticisms, compliments. Yes, compliments. But you know, I feel like compliments are like a given, you know? Like I think people nowadays don't need to ask for compliments. They're just like it's just like the right thing to do. Like one of my best clients so far, she gives me like on all my paintings on Instagram, she has commented, "Beautiful work."
Aw.
Yes, she's awesome.
Wedding ring?
Yep, on all of them. Imagine having a fan like that. Like even my mom's not that big of a fan. You know what I mean? But I guess at some point or not a fan. I don't want to call her a fan, but I think she's more supportive than anything. Not my mom, but this other person on Instagram who enjoys all of my work. And I think at some level, you know, you definitely eventually meet people in your life that are more supportive or more interested in the work that you do than even your own parents, which I think that's an interesting feeling. And I just realized that just now, like, wow, that's pretty neat, huh? It's a pretty interesting thing to have. And I guess, Fern, you're not going to eat the bird, are you? Look, cat. She's up on a cage, just like, look at where she was literally crawling up crawling up there.
Wow. Perspective on the bird, I guess. She can't get in there.
I don't know. She was playing with that little door on the left side door. All right. What?
No, we can't keep the cat.
Yes. Okay. Well, anyway, this is gonna be a wrap on this, folks. So for those of you that tuned in, thanks. And yeah, I guess that last little story that I was sharing, I think it's really interesting to reach a point where you know there are people that there's that joke of like, oh well, you know, the only person that would like whatever you do is your mom or your dad or you know whatever, right? And it's usually like internet trolls commenting on people's posts. You know, no one ever says that in real life unless like it's your best friend. You all are talking crap to each other. But I think it's interesting if you have somebody in your life, and you know this includes a previous conversation that we had in the stream with Celine, who so graciously shared a story here. Is this idea if you have somebody, whether it be a teacher or a mentor or a fan or a supporter or a friend or whatever who is supportive of your work, and you know even thinking about the whole parent situation earlier, who's even like more cheering you on than even your own parents, I think that's quite a person to appreciate and give gratitude for. So I'm sure a lot of celebrities have like raving fans that you know their parents are just like, oh, okay, they're cool, but the fans are like, oh my goodness, let me, you know, do something crazy like get your signature or whatever. Anyway, yeah. So if you find someone like that, if you don't have somebody like that in your life, there's probably resources. I know there's this really good organization called like Big Brother, Big Sister of America, and there's where you can like go to the place and you can like find adult mentors if you're like under 18 or whatever. And if you are, I guess if you're an adult, like in your 20s or 30s or whatever, you gotta find your own motivation and really just put yourself out there. And yeah, maybe it's your boss who has an investment in you. Maybe it's your neighbor. I don't know. I don't know where I'm going with this, but I hope the message was at least captured in some way for any of you. But with that, thanks for watching and have a great day, everybody.
Are you using the ring light?
I'm not using a ring light.
I mean, were you?